Good morning, day 97, and I am leaving the secret shelter. Less than 2 miles from Unionville. I'm going to go on into the general store there and have a cup of real coffee and maybe a second breakfast. Such a, I don't know, typical shelter, sleeping on the floor kind of experience. It did have a fan there, and at least that kept me cool. But alternate sweating and then being chilled with a fan. I don't know. I want a hotel or a hostel bad, and there's not another opportunity for, I think, another 60 miles or more. And was going to stay in Warwick tonight and take in the movie if the weather was nice. And they're calling, it's just calling for rain. It's raining right now, it's sprinkling. Getting a late start. The time is 8:14, so it'll be 15 after 8 when I get back here to the trailhead. In this drizzle, these boards are slippery as owl doo-doo, and I would hate to slip and fall in this swampy mess. This is the most extensive and highest walk of this type I've seen. I've been on it for quite a while. All right, I'm going to get back on trail right at 10 a.m. I was at general store here in Unionville. Kind of disappointed that they didn't have a bathroom. I was looking for a good little bathroom experience, plus a little bird bath opportunity. That ain't happening. So I got 17 miles left to get to the Wawayanda Shelter. That's a shelter just before the road crossing that takes you into Warwick. I think I've already said I probably will not go into Warwick for the movie, and I really don't think I'm even going to go in there to resupply. I don't think I need it. I think I can manage with some general store, roadside kind of places north of Warwick, so I can manage. But the Wawayanda Shelter, there's not a shelter after that for a pretty long distance, so it'll be a total 18 and a half mile day, which is fine after 225s in a row. I'm tired, so I'm happy with that. Bye. We had over half a mile of road walking, really unusual, and we just turned into the Wallkill Reserve. This is a wildlife sanctuary, and up ahead you see what I think is a blue heron. He'll take off here shortly. There he goes. Whew! I just climbed Pochuck Mountain, or most of it anyhow, and this is Pochuck Mountain Shelter, which I'll be skipping. Nice little lean-to. Well, no logbook, so that was a waste of time. Hey, incidentally, I noticed the shelter I stayed in last night was in the state of New York. So I had left New Jersey at some point, and in fact, Unionville, where I just was at the general store, that's also New York. But I think I'm back in New Jersey, and on the trail, and the trail actually follows the state line for a while here. So I haven't seen any signs on trail saying that I crossed the state line. So someone told me that that's just when you get off trail, you actually cross the border into New York. So not officially, I'm not going to officially call it, but it's coming up where I'm going to get out of New Jersey officially. Bye. There's another nice section of New Jersey boardwalk going through the swamp. Hey. So this is rather extraordinary. I've had 0.65 miles of this boardwalk. Now I've got 0.2 miles of this Pochuck Creek suspension bridge. Wow. There's a view of where I came. Huh. This doesn't look like 0.2 miles. All right, I just read the AT guide wrong. That footbridge isn't 0.2 miles. It's just that this boardwalk continues for 0.2 of a mile north of the footbridge, and it was 0.6 miles south of the footbridge. So this boardwalk's actually 0.8 miles long. Huh. It's hot out here. Okay, I'm on the approach trail to the Wawayanda Shelter, and not a moment too soon because it's dark, not because it's night. It's 5:36, I think. Terrible time, but we had a lot of stops. But man, it is thundering, and it's starting to sprinkle. Okay, here's the shelter. Good, they got a bear box spinning around here. So there it is, Wawayanda. Very similar to the shelter that we saw earlier today, as I thought it would be. Man, not a moment too soon. One other person here, maybe. Guten Morgen, day 98. And this is going to be an embrace the suck day. It's 10 till 8. Or it will be by the time I get back on the AT from this shelter. Approach trail. It rained all last night. It's going to rain today. It's raining now. Sprinkling. Rain chance drops off here in this hour, then picks back up over a 50% chance later today. And the shelters are really screwed up. It's 26. It's going to be a 26-mile day. Got to do big miles to get to a shelter. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the shelter last night, in a shelter that holds 6, but it only held 5 comfortably. You know, with the humidity, and the mosquitoes are outrageous now. Mosquitoes are really bad. So it's just uncomfortable. I mean, it's been like this for days, and it's projected to be like this for days yet to come. So it's starting to wear on me. I'm telling you, it's not starting. It's been wearing on me ever since Delaware Water Gap. Before Delaware Water Gap, we've had just rainy weather like this every day, just super humid. Yesterday just really sapped it out of me. It wasn't super hot, but it's just super humid. So yeah, this is really not that much fun right now. All right, but I did catch a few people. I mean, at least there were some people that I enjoyed being with last night. Big Bird was in the shelter last night when I arrived, so I'm back with Big Bird. And I hiked a little bit yesterday with Click, and so she was at the shelter last night. I like her. And then Quadzilla again showed up. Oh, and Tapper from weeks and weeks ago. I was hiking with Tapper, a maple syrup tapper, actually from Vermont, and ran into him. He had taken some days off, and then I got ahead of him, and then here he was at the shelter last night, so good to see him again. So anyway, I mean, that's a bright spot when you got people that you enjoy being with in an otherwise miserable situation. That's it for now. Bye. See that white blaze? I had to, don't know if I can get it, I don't want to slip, but I had to throw my poles up here on this ledge that I'm on and hoist myself up through that crack. Jeez. I haven't seen that quite as bad in New Jersey. All right. Here's the official New York, New Jersey line, state line. New Jersey, now New York. All right, that's cool. This has been a pretty neat climb ever since I had to hoist myself over that ledge. We're kind of hiking along this ridge here, this rocky ridge, like we saw quite a bit of in Pennsylvania. All right, so the fact that I've left New Jersey behind officially now, I think we were kind of meandering in and out of New Jersey and New York for the last couple of days, maybe. But New Jersey, no more New Jersey. So what does that mean for me? Entering New York means I am now, all I have left are New England states. So I kind of divide the AT up into 3 sections: the South, the Mid-Atlantic, and then New England. And these states, until I get to Maine, are pretty quick, pretty short to get through, relatively. And so is New Jersey. But now I'm in New England, and it's the last phase, if you want to split it up into 3 phases in my mind. So for me, that's a big milestone, and gives me the final confidence that I can get through this thing. So moving on. Well, it's another rough scramble up those rocks, and I knew something called the ladder was coming up. I thought I had passed it, but no. That would be it. All right, it's just after 11:30, and I decided to take the 2/10 of a mile detour down this road to Belleville Farms Creamery. They don't open until noon, so I'm gonna rest a little bit. They said they'll get me before then, get me an order, but I'm gonna go ahead and get something resembling lunch here, I think, and assess the situation. Oh, God help me. I didn't get back on the trail until 5 after 1. And I got 16 miles to do, abouts. And it's going to be just as tough as the first 10 miles that I did to get me to that Belleville Creamery. So 16, 4, 5, 6, it'd be 6 hours. It's going to be 7 p.m. before I get to the shelter, if I make it. Oh boy. This is the view from what they call the Eastern Pinnacles. Had another big rocky climb from up there. All right, there's the blue blazes for the Wildcat Shelter. It's 2/10 of a mile. I'm not even going to bother going down there. So let's continue on. Let's press for it. God help me. It's gonna be late. It's gonna be tough. It has been tough so far since leaving the creamery. It has not gotten any easier. All right. Well, this is a pretty area. This is called Fitzgerald Falls, and the last couple miles of this trail have been pretty fast, so I'm making much better time now. Let me put this phone away while I cross this creek. Well, there's some more of that BS that I had to pick my way through. You come up the side here, come up there, and I got to go up through those rocks. Stupid. Okay, so I'm about to get to New York 17, and I don't know how I overlooked it, but there's a Tuxedo Motel there, 2 miles down the road. That's only $54.95 for a single and $59.95, I think it was, for a double. So I called them. They have rooms available. And earlier, about a couple hours ago, I met a guy on trail who's basically doing the northern half of the trail. Met him for the first time, named Corey. He is going to join me. We're going to split a double. And I'm going slow here because he's slow. But hopefully in half an hour or so, we'll get out here on this road and we'll get a hitch to this hotel. Stay tuned.